Hello everyone, this is Joanna the Medium. Thank you so much for visiting my channel, and for those of you who are regulars, welcome back. I hope you like these messages. I will keep the intro very brief. These are, as you know, your September messages. A lot of it was channeled at the very beginning. Interesting energies, to say the least. I think I've said this before, we're all going through transformations and a lot of it is coming up. There's a lot of educational information I feel in these messages. So even if you're one sign and you're drawn to another sign that you don't relate normally, you might want to listen and see if there is something for you there, because I feel like they kind of sprinkled tips all over the place that could be useful by anyone, regardless of which category they feel into, because these are life situations that Spirit talked about. Also, for additional information as far as longer term messages, I will put those links down for you below. They are on Vimeo. There is the 6-month projection from July until the end of this year, December 2018. Also, the 7-year Uranus videos are also there, and that's a 7-year projection, so it'll give you the big picture of what things will be like over the next several years. But the 6-month is much more potent, because it's only focused on the next 6 months or so. Of course, if you would like a private session with me, that information is down below. Thank you so much once again for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I always say, without you, I wouldn't do this. And what I do is something that I absolutely love. And I remind myself every single day how lucky I am to be able to do this and love what I do, because it isn't often that everybody gets to do that, right? So that just, I'm supposed to say, that just affirms that when you believe in what you do, things eventually happen. I think that message was for somebody. So I think that's all I have. Thank you again. Of course, if you would like to comment, information is comment down below how this applies to you, and listen to your other signs, for one of them may not mean much to you, but always listen to it at the end of the month or next month, because you guys always tell me that at the beginning it makes no sense, and then you come back and you go, oh my God, I can't believe it. So I wish you best of luck. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care of yourself, and let's get going. Hello, beautiful Taurians. These are going to be our messages for the month of September 2018. I will tune in and channel some information first. It's always a little bit trickier for the sign of Taurus, because I'm also a Taurus. So I try as much to detach myself from the messages. So let's see what we've got. The month of March is being shown to me as a symbol of a new birth. So this may mean that some of you have started something very important in or around the month of March. I don't know which March. It could be 2018, 2017, or 16, but there is significance around the month of March. The number 3 is also being shown to me, which is I want to say it's a number of expression. It's expressing ideas. It's expressing one's aspect of individuality. It is the Empress, which I do have in a traditional tarot deck. So it is very much opportunities. I hear excitement, renewed hope, and that's another card you have, and possibilities. So if you connect with the month of March, fantastic. Perhaps no, you don't have birthdays in March. That's Aries. If March makes sense to you, great. If it doesn't make sense to you, notice if March coming up will mean something significant to you as far as giving birth. The number 3, as we talked about, is also a number of expansion, expression. And let me just see if there's anything else. Many of you, since that time, have been working really hard in order to see what is behind your fears. In other words, you have taken the time and you have put in the effort in order to examine certain beliefs about you that have hindered you from seeing things very clearly. This was an effort that was put on your part in order to help yourself in a relationship that is existing, or a relationship that you are wanting to manifest. And For those of you who are wanting to manifest a relationship, particularly with another person, I'm not talking about work here or friends, you had to go back to something that happened quite a while ago in order to almost like prove something to yourself. And I don't know what that would be, but it's something that you chose to look at in order to help you understand something that has been happening quite recently. So I have no connection to this. It's either going to make sense to you or it won't make sense to you. But the number 3 or the month of March is being shown to me very clearly. I also see the year 1987 and 1997. So perhaps this is your birth years. Perhaps 1987 or 1997 were somehow very important years. And this will either mean something to you or again, it won't. And for some of you, it is a year where either a completion has happened, a chapter of your life has ended, a brand new beginning happened, you were born. There's something with the number 1987 and 1997. So that's going to be for a few of you, I would assume. Just going back to looking behind your fears, I feel that many of you, and I felt this for a long time, including myself, are on the brink of something great and something very exciting. And many of you have been feeling this for quite some time. Some of you have been feeling this for years, that there is something coming, that there's something on the horizon. But in order for you to get what that is, and some of you may not even know what that is precisely, it's a feeling that I have. You had to work through some difficulties, particularly within relationships and also how you relate to yourself first and foremost, in order to tackle some pretty serious business in your life. And I feel many of you have been dealing with some difficulties in relationships. This could be recent, this could be somewhere in your past. I also heard the word healing. So many of you are healing your relationships in the past, or you are healing from a relationship. And incidentally, I do have a card that's staring at me, which is the 3 of Swords in reverse, which is overcoming painful difficulties or overcoming pain, overcoming heartbreak. And this is not that's what's happening. This is something that you are healing, just healed, or in the process, or will be healing very shortly. If you have been waiting to make a choice about something specific in your life that would represent crossroads or the fork in the road, I feel that you are moving beyond that point, and you will be deciding very soon what it is that you want to proceed with. For some of you, it's a choice with regards to it could be work, but there's a choice that you are either wanting to make or you were not willing to make earlier that's somehow very, very important to you. For some of you, it's going to be starting a brand new job or even a brand new career. And for some of you, it's going to be some other starts. But it seems like you are very determined in order to move forward towards your chosen destination. And again, I hear the word healing. So I feel like many of you have been going through a lot of healing, and all of the planetary stuff that we have been experiencing over the summer, including the Uranus in Taurus, that has created some havoc in our lives from what I know. So it wouldn't be surprising if you have been going through a lot of stuff. I do feel like many things happened very quickly, and it was a bit of a tornado, but then you're almost past the point of where you can finally start to get a grip on what's happening. So it sounds like many of you over the last few months have had some challenges and some difficulties. Now, is there anything, for those of you who have had a lot of question marks about your life, about your purpose, about your what discipline to use in any given thing you're wanting to accomplish, whatever question marks you had that were heavily weighing on you, and these would be decisions, big choices, life-changing choices, life-changing decisions, like life directions. For many of you who've been wondering what to do next, I feel Again, I feel the time is coming where you will be wondering no longer. So I don't know what it is that I'm actually saying to you. It's just words coming forward, but I'm hoping it's going to make sense to you and you will know exactly what area in your life that connects to. The card that represents kind of the overall message, because I don't have any theme with my cards. I just said, show me what they need to know. And the overall energy is you actually have renewed hope. So what this is telling me is that, again, many of you have been going through a lot of difficult situations, a lot of trials, a lot of trying times. And the month of September offers you an opportunity to heal. It is also coming forth to say everything is okay. Pretty soon we're going to be able to start new. So overcoming obstacles, obviously overcoming some difficulties, over healing, that's also signified with this card. So whenever hope comes in, and obviously renewed hope, it means there are better times on the horizon. And again, if you have been struggling emotionally for quite some time, know that things are about to get better. October is coming up again, October is coming up, and I'm being shown the number 1. So to me, this signifies in the month of October, you're going to start either seeing your process, you're seeing manifestation of, you'll be seeing your process manifesting, or you will be starting to create something new. So in other words, you may have planted the seeds quite some time ago, and on or around the month of October, you might start seeing the first signs of that growth. So this to me symbolizes brand new beginnings, no question about it. But the new beginnings are as a result of your hard work. You're not just thinking about it in October. So for those of you who have been planning, working on yourself, healing your past traumas, trying to figure out things from the past so that you don't make the same mistake again, it feels like the month of October, and you've been doing this for years, some of you. It sounds like the month of October, a lot of the question marks you've had about some things in your life will be eliminated, and you're going to see a manifestation of your hard work. For some of you, it is getting down and dirty, so to speak, with regards to there's going to be a lot of work, and it's not hard work in terms of physically laborious work. It's in terms of commitment and diligence. So it sounds, for some of you, there is going to be a lot of hard work on your part required, a lot of diligence and a lot of persistence. And again, I'm being taken past the new year to somewhere around, again, spring, March-ish, April, where something big is about to pop up. So you might see the manifestation of this in October, and by spring of next year, there is going to be some pretty big things happening for some of you. But again, these are big things that are a result of your hard work. They're not just coming out of nowhere. So for those of you who have been feeling stagnant, it would be worthwhile to look at some things in your past in order to move past the difficulties. And this is emotions. And for example, okay, he says, give them an example that makes sense, a valid example. For example, if you've always had difficulties making choices in your life, I would assume it would make you someone who is not very solid in your foundation. In other words, you'd be someone who, what's the word I want to use? Continually doubts. If that's the case, you might want to look at where that comes from for you, where are you lacking confidence, and also where does it come from? Because for those few of you who haven't looked into it yet, there's an opportunity here to examine certain things as in beliefs and patterns in order to help you get to your chosen destination. So if you are looking at creating abundance, for example, and you have been struggling with lack, It is time for you to look at some of the reasons why you believe in lack in the first place and choose to do something about it, emotionally speaking, in order so you don't drag this heavy energy forward. And when I say do something about it, I do want to give you an example. I don't just want to leave it open like this. So let's say you have fears around money, because that's coming up. And let's say you've struggled most of your life with attracting abundance. Well, we know that when we continually struggle with something, it implies there is some sort of a weakness in our belief system that creates the very strength thing that we are struggling with. So if you have been struggling with finances, or attracting abundance, or attracting better work, whatever it is, or love life, which is also abundance, then you need to ask yourself, where is my belief in the lack of it come from? And then look at those circumstances, usually somewhere in the past, and draw conclusions of how these painful circumstances have made you aware of certain gifts that you now have. For example, you could be someone who's extraordinarily skilled in listening to other people, and that may have come from the circumstances that represented lack to you on some level. If you had a parent who was emotionally unavailable, that would make you feel lack of emotional closeness, but at the same time, because you naturally would want to get closeness, you would look for clues of what that might look like in order to recognize it, which made you very skilled at looking at people and seeing their behavior and being very compassionate to what you see they feel. In other words, it made you very sensitive and very compassionate. If you see this from that perspective, it will allow you to see that situation and the lack component as something that made you great at who you are, which will then translate into something inside of yourself that is very valuable. The moment you shift your perception to believing that you're valuable, all of a sudden you open the door to abundance, because feeling valuable inside brings more of the same, which is more valuable experiences. So that's one of the things, as a prime example, that I want to give. For some of you, it's important to look at your emotion and not to throw your emotion away, pretend it doesn't mean anything. If you are one of those people that is choosing not to feel because it is more convenient that way, chances are you're going to constantly deal with this on some level, because at the end of the day, you're meant to learn from this and understand it. So if you are one of those individuals that is keeping emotions at bay by suppressing some of the things that you feel, and as a result you carry with you this underlying anger that world is just not good for you, then you're going to keep fueling that over and over again. Rather, look at your emotions, look at what is associated with it, look at what it's trying to tell you, and then realize that whatever that is, it's not something that you have to drag forward, but you do have to realize it's still there. It's a condition. It's like anything else. It's attached to you emotionally, and it creates, havoc in our life. In our life. So choose to feel your emotions rather than shoving them on the side and pretending they're not there. Now, why am I saying this? Well, one of the things that you have is the soulmate card in protection. And what it means to me is that somewhere in your past, you have had a relationship, like we all had, that had a lot of learning connected to it. And it's usually in a way that doesn't feel very great. And because you also have 3 of Swords in reverse, it is telling me that you are in the process of overcoming something very difficult in your past. If you have had a relationship that has broken your heart, that also may be the very thing that makes you believe there is lack. And if that's the case, you will have difficulty attracting abundance, because the belief in lack will continually help you create more of the same. So by these 2 cards, what I'm seeing here is that there is an opportunity in the month of September to overcome some pain connected to someone who feels like a soulmate. When I talk about soulmate, it isn't only a romantic love relationship. Soulmate could be a parent that when you had a relationship with, it was very traumatic, or they made you feel a certain way, not because they wanted to, but that's because you perceived it. Could also be that, one of your parents left as a result of a divorce, and you were very heartbroken, and from that point forward you realized that you're not going to trust ever fully. And if that's the case, well, that will definitely create problems down the road. So there's an opportunity in the month of September to look at some old patterns and behaviors, particularly pertaining to how you relate in relationships, in order to move on and expand. You have the Empress. Empress, again, it's about giving birth. It's about being ready to start something new. The Magician is being shown to me, and Empress and Magician, birth, Magician, manifestation, like those two things go hand in hand. So there's a lot of energy that is available to you in the month of September, a little bit of October, that will help you accomplish some of the goals that I just mentioned. You also have go the distance in protection. So if September feels like things are not moving very fast, particularly you have the card of Queen of Pentacles, which is, well, it's your card in reverse. So it's saying here that you might not feel, your finances may not feel particularly great, or you may have had some worries about your finances. What I do want to say here is, in the month of September, take things slowly and conserve your energy, because in the months to come, you're going to need it. For those of you who feel very tired, and you have been feeling very tired, I want to say many of you have been subconsciously dealing with some emotional clutter, and it is creating a bit of a damper on your energy. In other words, with all the energies that we are going through, certain things will come up to the surface, and for the purpose of being let go. So if you feel tired, if you can't sleep, if you feel like you're sleeping enough and you're still tired, know that the month of September, as well as a little bit of October, is going to feel a little bit sleepy. Doesn't mean that nothing is happening. It just means things are happening in the background. Remember, you are working, or you will be letting go of some things from the past. So this is a great time to ponder, to look at some things in order to iron out the wrinkles, so that you don't have to deal with it later on. I don't know why, but I'm being taken to next year, early next year. There's a lot of manifestation happening for many of you. Now, some of you, I can hear you say, well, you've been talking about it for a long time. I know. Some of you can already see it, and some of you, the manifestation is going to be very visible to you at the beginning of next year. But remember, you are going to start seeing things in September and October, and those things are like the shoots coming up from underneath the ground in order to show the growth of the work you have been working on. Last but not least, there's a message here of making sure that you allow your dreams to manifest. And again, this card in reverse is all about reserving your energy, because you will need them later. So the month of September is not go, go, go. The month of September is a little bit about sitting back, gathering back your energies, because you've been going through, for some of you, quite a lot. Taking some time to let go of some pain from the past, and allowing your manifestation to what's the word? To have the right, no, how do I say this? It's like a baby in gestation. Your dream needs time to manifest. And so if it feels again like September is a little bit slow, that's because there is something just on the horizon, and it's almost like you're getting prepared. That is what I want to say. Last but not least, for those of you who sing and you haven't for a while, please do this. It is your recipe for feeling good again. For those of you who have played any instruments, or you have been inclined, or you have been thinking of playing instruments, any sort of sound, one that you make, one that is made by an instrument, very, very important and extraordinarily therapeutic, particularly for Taurus, because Taurus is ruled by the throat. For some of you, this is about speaking up. Obviously, speaking up is, no need to say it, but it's obviously very important. But also, the month of September, you might want to take some time in order to learn how to speak up confidently. And for some of you, this is literally taking public speaking classes for whatever reason, generally because, well, for some of you it's because you want to, but generally it's because you need to for a job or interview skills or whatever it is. And I think that's all I have. I'm seeing a hook. Why am I seeing a hook here? I keep hearing off the hook, off the hook. Well, maybe some of you will be off the hook from something in the next month or two. That's a really strange message because I'm just seeing a hook, but there's nothing on it. So maybe for some of you, be mindful of certain things that you will be deciding so that you don't get yourself on the hook unnecessarily. And for some of you, it's time for you to let yourself off the hook, whatever that means. And again, the number 10 is being symbolized, so this could be October, but also many of us are closing a chapter. We are finalizing certain things and getting prepared for something new to start very, very shortly. And number 15 is being shown to me. That's the devil card. So look at your fears, look at the things that bind you. I'm telling you guys, whatever you're doing, beginning of new year, you will have no time to think about your worries. You're going to be so busy. So it's, I want to say it's cleanup time. And that's all I have. I hope this was helpful. This obviously makes no sense to me right now. Maybe it will towards the end of the month. So do listen to it at the end of the month and see if that makes sense indeed. Thank you again so much. When I do this, I'm always like blind. I say things and I hope they're going to make sense to you. But of course, if you would like a private session, that information is down below. Thank you again so much. I look forward to seeing you soon and good luck.